Everyone, welcome back. Now let's hit a new question, number 92. Create load balancer service for public API, and they have given the target and the ports, protocol to use, and explain node port versus verify external IP cloud. So let's get started. First, we have solved on cluster IP and node IP. Now we have got the load balancer. This is the third type of the service now we are solving. And before solving this question, I want to tell you the difference between the node port and load balancer. Basically, we have seen in the previous example, like node port is useful to expose your particular node to the external environment. So external environments can access your node with that node port number, and they can access the internal ports. Then if they are able to access from the external world using this IP, node IP and the port, node port, why should we again create a load balancer? So one reason I would say is, uh, so let's say like you have two number of nodes, okay, and both the two nodes are exposing a particular pod on node port. So it's like some 172.3.656 dot something dot some 30080. Now there is one more node like this, and let's say we have a node like this. There are three nodes, and all the nodes can access to that port, and from this port it is able to, you know, navigate or forward the traffic to that particular service, and from that service to the targeted pod it can able to go, and from external world we can able to ping this. But what if there is a chances of security issues, right? Once your node IPs are exposed, then there are some chances that others can inject into SQL injection can happen, or any other security issues are there. So in order to eradicate that issues, and also let's say one of your nodes, the main reason is one of your nodes is destroyed, or it is not working properly, then still your then still, as you have exposed this IP, some of other external applications uses this IP and try to ping this particular node only. In such case also, because the node is not exposed, I mean not working, even though it is exposed it is not working, so that doesn't return the pod's response, because you will not be able to reach the pod because the IP has got down. In such cases also, the load balancer helps, such that whenever it is any node is not working, it just doesn't send the traffic to that node. Instead it will keep sending traffic to these two nodes, and if he sees that one of the node is getting more requests, then it will try to do a load balancing between these nodes, such that um, only the, you know, in such a case that the nodes should not get overwhelmed by the traffic. So that way it balances the traffic and sends, and we don't know internally what IPs or the nodes containing. So in such cases security issues are also solved, so that's why we'll use a load balancers. So that's where um the difference between load balancers and node IPs work, and you can see this MD file of differences between both. And one more thing I want to tell you is, yeah, so if you can see, I'll just do one thing. I'm sorry. So if you see like this is how it works, but yeah, you can go through this file and there are some differences how the traffic distribution and all. Node port, if you use, it is very it is free. It can that because we are directly accessing the IPs. But load balancer is paid because for load balancers we need some cloud environment. So that cloud providers, once the load balancers or because in AWS, if you see, there are some load balancers, right? So application load balancer, ELBs are there. So when you create those load balancers, you will get an external IP. So whenever your application is trying to ping the want to ping that particular pod, I told you that these IPs will not be visible. Then which IP will be visible? There will be some external IP assigned by the providers, and that external IP is for that load balancer, and this will be a static IP. So using that static IP, a single IP, which is the external IP, which is provided by the cloud providers like AWS, Azure, etc. Anything, and using that particular IP address and the port, let's say some 12.0 dot something dot something, and some there is an example like here. Let's say I access this. You will mention that in I will see the example. Like if you see the question number 92. Okay, so here if you see they are asking to create a load balancer with port 443. So you will take IP of that external IP which is provided by this cloud service and the port number which you have written in the port. The target port will be 8443. So now what happens is your request will be navigated to one of the nodes one of the nodes, and randomly inside it's like a wrapper of a node port. Okay, so this load balancer is a wrapper of node port. So internally what it does is for one of the nodes it will create a node port, and that node port will be random. Okay, it will be some range, like there will be range of node ports. You can see the documentations. So in that particular range only it will use some random port, and using that it will forward to one of these nodes. Let's say it will forward to this like 30082 or something, whatever in that range of node ports. It will pick up one port, and it will pick up one node based on that load balancing technique, and it will forward the traffic. And internally what happens is this port will send the traffic to, since we have mentioned the target port is 8443, the traffic will be forwarded to the service, and from there the traffic will be forwarded to the actual pod. Okay, and on that actual pod this port would be open. That's how it works. So yeah, you can see this concept here. I've mentioned how it does. In node port approach, what happens is this is a, let's say this is the IP of the node, and this is one node port address. I told you like it will be between 3000 something, 30,000 something to some 32,000 something. So or 31 I guess. So in between the ports we mentioned, like this is a port and this is a target port. Directly in between there will be some service also, so it will forward that way. But here there will be some external IP, and we mentioned the port. Using that, there will be the load balancer. Using that, it will pick up one of the node IPs and forward to one of the ports, and from there it will send to the service, and from there to it will forward to the pod. So that is the approach basically. And since the load balancer requires some external IPs, and that has to be provided by the cloud providers, and it has to run the load balancers, we need to pay it. It is a paid service. Okay. So yeah, basically this question on the load balancer explains the importance of load balancer and how it works. I'll run through this MD file for you, and we'll not create load balancer in this session. We'll see like how actually we can do in Kubernetes. So yeah, generally you can create a deployment, because even that is the one which creates the pods, and you can verify that pods still it is running. And then after, there is a load balancer. This is how you can write a load balancer of type load balancer. Previously we have seen type of node port, cluster IP. So you can mention like type load balancer, and inside you can edit if you want to do anything. So that's why you can write a YAML file, and then you can edit it. Otherwise, if you are good, you can use just an imperative command. So this is still in a pending state, and if you do get SVC, and if you see like here external IP are not needed by node port or cluster IPs, but it is needed for the load balancer. And why, how we will get this external IP? We will get it when we have a cloud service provider, and that we when we run any load balancer, that particular external IP we can use it here. But for now we are not creating any of that, so still it is pending. So whenever we assign that external IP here, that's when the traffic flow occurs. So if you see, the ports also will be open on this port, external IP call on this port, and it can transfer the traffic to this port of the node, and from there it can transfer to this port of the pod. So that's how it works. And you can verify, as we can verify that we didn't get the external IP since we don't have that here. And yes, that's how it works. And yeah, you can go through this file and understand. And if you are able to create the load balancer and use that as external IP here, it's well and good. Yeah, thank you so much. Bye bye.